Hello everyone, welcome to Heart to Heart. I'm Rinalini Ayachit, the founder of Vibrance. It is my pleasure to welcome Jasnoor Kaur, an artist currently based in Dubai. She's self-taught but extremely passionate about painting and DIY crafts. She has presented her artwork in several exhibitions throughout the globe and has been teaching for a long time. She has several students who have learned arts and crafts from her. She's also running a successful YouTube channel by the name of Artistry by Jasnoor. Please go and check it out. So I'll let Jasnoor talk more about herself. Please welcome Jasnoor Kaur. Hi Jasnoor, welcome to our show here. It would be great to know about you, what you've been doing, your journey as an artist, what motivates you. And there's so many different things that I would love to talk to you about. So why don't we start with your introduction? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much. So it is my pleasure to be here. And to start with myself, my name is Jasnoor Kaur and I am a Jaipur-based artist, even now trying to make my place in UAE. And I am a lot much interested in paintings, DIY crafts, best out of waste crafts. That's what I do.
Nice. You said you are based in UAE, Dubai, is it?
Yeah, I am working over there with my workshops and with my, paintings and everything in that respect. And I do have my YouTube channel, which I keep on running in India anyway, anywhere I am.
Okay. No, we would love to hear more about your YouTube channel. I know you're doing very well there. It would be great to know about it. But why don't we start by getting to know you more, like your journey as an artist? Okay, now I know you have done your master's in public administration and you've done a lot on the academic side, but then you moved to becoming an artist, a full-time artist actually. So we would love to know what has been your journey, and I'm sure it has given you a lot of pleasure. So please tell us about it.
Sure, even I would love to talk about it. So to start with, yes, art is something that has really fascinated me since the beginning, since my school times. As a hobby, it was always there with me. I used to create paintings, I used to make DIY crafts, and my craft used to be my favorite subject. But somehow at that time, I did not realize that this is what I really want to do it professionally. When I came to my college, I did my bachelor's, then I did my master's in public administration. And then I was preparing for civils, but it is like God has its own destiny. So I did not clear that. Due to some 0.5 mark, I was very disheartened for that while. Then I moved to teaching. I have done B.Ed also. I did teaching for 5 years. Okay. So I have been with students. I actually interacted. That was the time I realized that even being in classrooms, I was always making creative things. I was always designing creative activities. So I was like, this is something that really gives me pleasure apart from what the other things I'm doing. Though I did not have any professional background as such, but then I realized with time that, okay, I'm doing my arts. I have learned them myself, like I'm a self-taught artist. But at the same time, I felt like professional knowledge is very much required. So what I started doing, like online nowadays, it's a vast, platform we have. You can learn anything. Specifically for the technicalities, I started opting for online courses because while teaching, I could learn that way only. I was not able to go and attend classes. And I slowly started engaging in those arts like acrylic paintings, watercolor paintings, traditional art forms. In India, we have a lot many of those, like Warli is one of those. Then Manna in Rajasthan. So I started learning the technicalities of these because once you're making and you know exact technical knowledge about something, it's much more better than what you just learn and explore yourself.
Agree.
So that is how. And after that, like last year, I finally came to a point that no, this is something I want to do it professionally. I just got a very good opportunity to present my paintings at World Art Dubai. So that was a opening gate for me. I feel like I contacted so many artists, and over there, people started knowing me, people started knowing my work. And that is where my journey as an artist actually started. Otherwise, it was back in 2007, since when I'm teaching students, I was associated with an NGO over here in Rajasthan itself. So I was teaching Mehendi, I was taking vocational training for those kids. So it wasn't something new, but yes, as a professional artist, I launched myself just a year back. And now the journey is not never ending. It's like I have very good contacts all around the world and presenting my paintings at global level now.
Very nice, very nice. And that's the reason we got in touch with you. I mean, you are in Rajasthan, I believe, and we are here, in North America, and how internet has like brought us together.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me a little bit more about that world, the art show that you said in Dubai that you displayed your art in. Could you tell a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So basically, World Art Dubai is an art festival that happens in Dubai every year, and over there you can present your any kind of artworks that you have, and it's an exhibition kind of thing where you can even sell your artwork, and plus you can showcase your work.
Okay.
So this year I got an opportunity to present my work over there, and that is a multi-national kind of a project. More than 180 countries, artists were there.
Okay.
So it was a wonderful interaction for me also. And for everybody who visits there, even as a visitor, even as a person who just wants to come around and look. So that is a very huge collaboration that we see. People from all around the world are over there. Like, I don't find any country which I could not find. India, Pakistan, Nepal. These are the South Asian countries exactly. Then we come to America, Australia, Africa. There were artists from everywhere. So it was a very good collaboration. People came up with their own art forms, and I got to know about so many more art forms. And I think that platform is a wonderful platform for anybody who loves art.
Correct. No, I'm sure it is.
And that is, if you once enter, I think an artist who once goes would not like to leave that for any year. Because we have started already planning for the next year that, okay, this is going to be happening, because it is a learning process. Okay. So with every time, what we are going to do and everything. So yes, it was a wonderful platform for me.
Okay. I'm sure you've got connected to a lot of other artists through the same exhibition.
That's actually for me, because on internet or something, we were not actually interacting. Over there, when I actually interacted with those people, and we had the same kind of tuning and same kind of art forms, or trying to learn new things. So that was the place where I actually got in touch, and now even we are planning for more collaborations and these kind of stuff.
Okay, very nice. So coming back to your art, what is your forte? Like, I know you told me you do different kinds of art, worldly art, and why don't you tell us what excites you the most, or maybe all kinds of art? I don't know. So share a little bit about that.
Yeah. So when it comes to art forms, yes, I keep on doing a lot of things. Specifically, like paintings. I told you I am doing watercolor paintings, acrylics, then oil paintings a little bit. But what excites me most is that where I can explore my creativity. Even if I'm making a painting, I would like to, medium does not really make a difference when it comes to medium. Yes, I'm very comfortable with acrylic paintings, because that is what is my forte, the landscape paintings, still paintings, and traditional art forms is one thing that I really keep on, evolving. I try to learn those things. Not only like the latest that art form that I have learned is African tribal art form. So that is what fascinates me. And second is best out of waste. For that, the reason is only that whatever is lying around, I just want to reuse those things, and something or the other comes out of it.
Oh, okay. Well, that takes me to another question. What motivates you to keep going as an artist?
This is a very important question, because I see myself demotivated every third day. Even on my YouTube, when I see my subscriber rate is going down, it is demotivating. Yeah. You make an art piece, it is not sold, it is demotivating, agreed. But then there is something, I can see my passion, my instinct that no, this will work, and this is the only thing that gives me pleasure. So even if I'm upset, if I make a painting, I'm back to normal. Okay, this is going to happen. So that is my passion is my motivation, basically.
Yeah, it is. And I'm sure, like you said, the more engagement you get from your audience, that excites you more to keep going, isn't it?
That is really important. Even if you are exhibiting your artwork at any place, it's not getting sold, does not make a difference. But if 10 people come and appreciate, ask you questions, not only appreciate, even if they criticize, people are being involved in your artwork. That is very important.
Correct. And last year, the entire year, COVID deprived you from doing that. Actually, the personal interaction, I'm guessing you really missed it. It was all digital. And is there anything you would like to share about that?
You are so true onto this. And exactly, we have been missing, like in India itself, we were having so many exhibitions earlier, but now because of COVID, and the COVID scenes over here were really bad this time. So everything got shut down, and I got an opportunity only when I went to Dubai. So this is something that I really miss. Of course, when you interact with people, when people interact with you, one is, of course, your selling of artwork, showcasing of artwork is much more. internet, no doubt, is a very huge platform where you can show your artworks, but still I feel that one-to-one connection is much more important, which has been a lag point. But then at the same time, I would say we have got really acquainted to technology. We have started using so many virtual galleries, virtual artists, using so many other platforms. So even that was a very good point. Otherwise, we would not even have tried to switch over there.
So I will agree with you. Digitally, you've been able to reach a much wider audience, like globally, like how we are talking today digitally. We wouldn't have been able to otherwise. But again, that personal engagement or interaction with your audience is very important. So best of both worlds. I think pandemic has shown us best of both worlds, like as in going forward. Exactly. We'll be able to do things digitally as well as balance it with, a personal,
Yes, we have opened up this pandemic has opened this aspect for us, that virtually things can be done. Otherwise, we were not ever interested in this.
I agree.
We always felt that like lack of interaction. So let's just do something that is more interactive or something. But now we have understood that this is more interactive also. And for me, this has not really been really new, because as I told you, I have learned a lot of art forms online itself. Mm-hmm. So now I got the opportunity to showcase my arts also and present it to other people.
Right. So my next one would be about your teaching. Okay. Now you said you've done your B.Ed, you've been teaching students for a long time. I'm sure that has helped you a lot, even while you teach artwork to, your students. So tell me how would you tell students, what is the best way to learn and enjoy any art form?
See, one is, we all know art is terrible. Undoubtedly it is. Playing with colors, playing with your creativity. So one thing this is that if you are making something, enjoy what you are making. Don't try to copy something. That is one thing I always say. Yes, you can of course take inspirations. There is no problem. Everybody does that. And specifically in the world of internet nowadays, we always look at pictures we want to create. But then just try to add a little bit touch of yours. And if in any aspect, in any art form, there's no copy paste. You can make little bit change, and that is what makes your art piece yours. And that is that you can enjoy your artwork. And I think the final result of your artwork is what you really love. When I sit with my canvas in front of me, I am totally blank for 2, 3, 4 hours what to make. And once it is made, I think I spend 8 hours just looking at it. So that is like whatever you are doing, when you start liking your own work, people will automatically like it. And just enjoy the whole process.
So one question is, are you in this digital world, okay, are you ever worried about your artwork being copied by others or, things like that? Today it's very easy for me to just, download your artwork and use it somewhere else. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, you are very right. Like copyright is a very major issue. And when specifically, I came on YouTube around 4 years back on YouTube also, I joined in 2017. Initially, when I saw that my audience was very small, but my artworks were being, used by other people, and I was really worried that they're using my artworks, getting wasted and all. But after a while, I felt that at the end, nothing happens. It's my work. After a while, they would not be able to use it because they cannot recreate that thing. So initially, yes, I was extremely worried. I did try. Even now, I have my legal team who works for me. Of course, I don't want people to just use my work. But now that does not really hinders my work or gives me any kind of pressure or stress that people will use it. But initially, it was a very major problem, that copyright, because what is the thing? You will just sign your painting, people can easily erase it. Now we have so many softwares and everything. So when I came to a point that whatever I can create, that's my creativity, nobody else can do it. That was the point I came to that contempt that, okay, this is my work and I don't have to work.
Yeah, no, that's very true. So you just mentioned about your YouTube channel. I know you have a very good following, and hope it goes on and on. It does much better than what it is today. Tell us, how do you like, your subscribers growing? How do you like to see it growing, and what would you advise others, when they are performing or presenting themselves on a YouTube channel?
See, when I started my YouTube channel 4 years back, the only reason was that I was not actually getting any opportunity to showcase my art because I was busy teaching in school, and that was I really wanted to follow my hobby. And with time, of course, with hit and trials, I have learned a lot during this process what exactly YouTube requires, because digital media has so many aspects. In YouTube also, earlier I used to put a lot of very long videos trying to give very detailed information, because that is how I am. Being a teacher, it was always that I should give the best I can. But YouTube, I got to just what my experience is. Of course, everybody can have a different experience. But I just found that people would just want to see, like, what's happening and the end product. They're not really interested in very detailed things. I think the people who really want to learn those minor details, they would actually go for some course that we are offering. Because I felt that while I'm working with your platform, that was a great opportunity for people like me who really want to learn things in detail. When it comes to YouTube, of course, it is a vast media and it can give you a lot of opportunities. But what audience has liked in my own content is that they would like to make things which are very small, which can get completed, very quickly, and just a rough idea. People do not really get into details. When you start putting a lot of details in the videos, you do not have any watch times. Now, this is very technicalities of YouTube, what I'm talking about. But then that is my experience, that people love creating arts, of course, no doubt. But then something that is more easy, more unique, that is what people get fascinated with. Because not everybody is an artist and not everybody has that passion like you.
Yeah, exactly. And they need some direction, and coming from someone like you who is very experienced, it is definitely helpful.
And then at the same time, what gives me the pleasure is, like, one thing that I really love, whatever following I have really been personally in touch with them. I always make sure I reply to every comment and everything, because that personal interaction, that is why I don't even miss it over there. And people actually get attached with me when I'm creating some series or something. So those appreciation comments, even a lot of times, a lot of critics that this should be changed, this should be changed, and that's very good. That is how I'm improving.
I talk to a lot of artists, okay? I come across, and a big frustration among a lot of them, teachers, artists, and all, especially in the creative world, is that a lot of creative art, in terms of artwork, music, and all, is expected for free by people. Okay, people don't really value, even the artwork that you're selling. They'll say, oh, really, is it worth so much, or is it, basically because I think there is lack of education, or people don't know what is the worth that has gone into that particular piece of art. So do you have any thoughts about that? How would you like your audience to view you as a teacher, as an artist, and convey that message that, is there any service that comes for free? Then why expect artists or artwork to be given away for free? Every profession has to be respected equally, if not more.
Completely agree with you. Yes, that is one of the things, specifically when nowadays, like, I have started teaching a lot of people with a lot of art form kind of thing. Free is expected, but then when free is expected, first thing is, make sure that being an artist, you are not going to be valued. Your work is not valued at all. They would come for one session, for the next session you will not even find half of the strength. So as an artist also, I feel giving something for free is not something acceptable nowadays, because people would just want to enter because they don't have to pay anything. They don't have to, give any kind of, they don't own the responsibility to even take up the sessions. And when it comes to taking things for free, again, as you said, you rightly said that, of course, when you're not getting anything for free nowadays, so how can you expect this information? Even when we're going for normal school education, we have to pay our fees and everything. And it's not always that you have to pay high amounts, but at least the artist should be getting something for whatever hard work they are putting in. And as it comes to selling of artworks, yes, I completely again agree with you. You make something for people, it is just, okay, that's a simple landscape painting, but they do not realize buying that canvas, buying those high quality colors is much more than what they can actually believe. And I think getting craft supplies is much more costly than getting your clothes and shoes. So that is what I personally believe. If you're actually going for quality products, people of course want best quality things in front of them, best quality paintings, but then they would not want to pay. So yes, there's a very, very big need at this time that people should be educated about this. People should know that the artist is actually putting a lot of hard work. Like, when it comes to me, not only hard work, I love making paintings, I'm not complaining about it. But because of so much of this, I have a very major neck issue right now. And actually, I'm going for those physiotherapy sessions. Of course, that's not anybody's issue. But people need to understand that we put a lot of hard work into this, and that needs to be paid. Yeah. Because even to sustain ourselves on this platform, we need money right now to grow.
I 100% agree with you. And how do you think people can be educated? Is it more through, I don't know, organizations doing more towards art and, music, dance? Should institutions be taking their, doing their part? Government? I don't know. What is the way this profession, this particular creative arts field can be more, can be taken care of in this aspect, basically?
This is something, yes, again, specifically if I talk about India, like it is a meme anyways, people have started joking about it. If you just go and somebody asks you, what do you do? I say, I'm an artist. Okay, that's a hobby. What do you do? People do not even take it as a profession. That is the biggest problem. So, why I chose UAE many times if I'm asked, the only reason was my work was really respected over there. My profession was actually respected because the government actually gives you golden visas on your cultural basis, on the basis of your work. Mm-hmm. The government is actually promoting a lot. So what I expect, like what I think what would change is when government start interfering or the organizations actually start, giving you more high frameworks and they're actually bringing you to the forefront where artists are actually, given that much same value. Correct. Then people would automatically appreciate. But for now, since they do not have any kind of value given at any point, people also do not appreciate it. And then, of course, artists should come up and they should start speaking about it more. Because I feel at times, even artists are very hesitant. If we speak, we'll have a bad reputation with people or something like that. But I think you should speak up for your rights.
Yes. And there's a lot of dialogue going on actually today in media about all this. So I'm hoping it'll move to a better, for betterment actually. So, okay. So we are almost coming to an end of this conversation, but before we end, a couple of things. One is, why don't you share with people a little bit about what you're offering on Vibrance, like what lessons are you offering? I know you're starting with worldly art, but what do you have a plan of action? What do you want to do in terms of your offerings on Vibrance?
I would like to thank you for this opportunity, that you gave me this opportunity to be at such a lovely platform. It has been a great exposure for me working with you, like the kind of professionalism that you have and the kind of things that we want to offer to people. We are actually keeping in mind that people should, benefit from our courses, and we are not just doing it for the sake of doing. That is what I really love about your work and this organization which I'm associated to. Mm-hmm. And yes, when it comes to our courses, we are starting with this introductory Warli course just to, acquaint people with it. And we are not leaving them in between. We will be taking them through. We will be taking them to the advanced levels also, and the various applications also. And not only this, all the other art forms that I have talked about. We will just like to know what people want to learn from us, and I'm there for you and for everyone. And we will start with those courses also.
Oh, thank you so much, Jasnoor. You've been such a big, asset to our platform actually. So before we end, some words of wisdom or inspirational words for people out there who are learning, who are in this field in some form or fashion, either as a professional, as a service provider, as an artist, whatever it is. Anything that you would love to share from your experiences, please.
See, my experience, I think first thing is follow your passion. That is what I have been doing. I have taken big risks. I was in a very stable job teaching students of an IB students, and I was highly paid in that and everything. But just making that switch was because what my heart likes. So one thing I would say, do what you love. That is where you will, not feel that you're working. You will start enjoying your works. And second is, of course, hard work and determination is required. We cannot stop at any point. We get demotivated, but moving on is what is important.
Yeah. No, thank you so much. That was a great way to end this conversation, Jasnoor. We wish you all the luck. I hope you're able to go back to your work and go back to where you have been, like Dubai, and hope things get better for you and India and all over the globe. People get over this COVID and things get back to normal ASAP. So again, good luck and best wishes to you, and we look forward to a long and a great working relationship with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and hoping for the same, that the world recovers from this pandemic and we get back to the normal lives.
I am. Thank you so much.